sleeping giants, Red Star Belgrade. Now, in our last episode, we'd had a pretty poor run in the league. That is the sort of nicest way of putting what had happened. Drawing 2 league games, losing 3. Sorry, not losing 3, but going winless in 3 league games in a row was not good for us. And I felt that it was really starting to put the pressure on us because we'd fallen 7 points behind FK Partizan. And in our live con, we beat Proletar Novi Sad 5-3, and Partizan actually drew, which dropped them some points and got us back to within a reasonable margin of them, of only 5 points behind, which was good. Now, this month has been a fairly decent month, with a couple of exceptions. It's kind of like a little blip on the radar is essentially what's happened this month. So we're going to get straight into things, and let's get started with the first game of the month, which was a home game against Borach. And one thing that stands out for me this month is the performances of people like Luka Joooovic. I always felt that if we could get the team playing again with Joooovic and Otto, and for me, Nenad Gavric is hugely important for us, and then the likes of Savicevic, if we could get them all fit and just get a little run of games with them in the team, then that could be key for our season. And this is sort of a demonstration of that. So 10 minutes in, Miletic spreads it out wide to Mihailo Ristic, who lobs the ball across, and Nenad Gavric is in there to make it 1-0 to Red Star. I should also point out that Partizan dropped points today as well. Yeah, they dropped them in this game too, which means that we've actually pulled them back again by quite a few more points. They seem to be struggling a little bit to hang on. Lovely little ball here from Gavric, and Luka Joooovic finally starting to find his feet, and that is his 12th goal of the season. And I felt simply that, maybe if he could go for the last stage of the season, maybe hit 20 goals, not in the league rather, but just 20 goals in general. Lovely bit of play from Gavric here, keeping the ball, drops it in for Cernic. Otto there makes it 3. I don't know how Gavric retained the ball there, I really don't, but he did. Let's make no mistake there. And yeah, I felt if Luka Joooovic could get us a few more goals this season, maybe get to 20 overall stats wise, then I think there's a chance for us. And he's done a fair old attempt at doing that. In our next game, we of course played against Sloboda in the cup. The second leg, and this time we were dominant. Not that we weren't in the first leg, we were, but we just didn't score the goals. This time we did, and Luka Joooovic was having a lovely old time. He managed to get himself 4 in this game against the third tier side, which is understandable. They're not a very good team, and Joooovic was just a finishing machine in this one. This time, admittedly, a little bit of a tap in there on 7 minutes, and that was pretty much game over from my point of view. I didn't think they were going to score, because why would they? We were so dominant, but that didn't stop them from scoring, as you can see from the scoreline. And it was yet another one of those goals that you just think, why are we conceding those? But, whatever. Ristic's ball out wide, Antic kicks it in, bit of a melee in front of goal, and eventually it is collected by Milanovic. And we've been better this month. I'm starting to like it. There is just one game that has been a blip on that radar, and it could be an absolutely crucial blip, I have to tell you that. Savicevic getting the ball out wide here just before half time. This was a chance to sort of wrap it up. It's great to see Otto back. He really is making the most of being Mr. Assist. Adamenko whips it across, Joooovic with the volley, and it was 2-0 on 43 minutes with his 14th goal of the season, and suddenly Luka Joooovic is starting to emerge again. That's 5 in his last 2 games now, if you count the one he got in the first game of this month. I'm not even saying month anymore, because I think it is a month actually this time, but sometimes we haven't been doing it by the month, so it's hard to sort of, but today, he's just been superb. Starting to sort of show the reason we managed to spend all that money on him, essentially, and believe me, I do think he will be worth it in the long run for us, if nothing else, for sell-on value, but I think there's probably more we could do. Adamenko's ball in there, and Joooovic there completes his first hat-trick of the season. See, last year he was dominant, and if he didn't get that injury, I think we would have even done better in the league. But this year, he's just been so nitty with not nitty, like just bitty with his injuries. That was his hat-trick, but he still had time for one more. That looked like a foul to me, but whatever. Some of the tackling done in this game do actually look a lot better than they used to. Adamenko's ball, and again, Joooovic this time does not win the header. I think this is actually where they score. Yeah, long ball over the top, and you know what happens when they get the ball in these situations. They can just score at will. They're a third tier side, and we're still letting them nick goals like that. Thankfully, we've got ourselves 3 at this point, so it wasn't quite so important. But just the fact that we were able to concede a goal like that is disappointing to see. Let's just be honest about this. We did, of course, come straight back after that, though, and finish things off. Joooovic with an absolute thunderbolt of a strike. They're just low and hard, but that is his 16th goal of the season. He now has 5 goals in 2 games, which suddenly makes his stats look a lot better. Admittedly, all against a third tier side. there, so maybe not quite so much. In our next game, we had a game against Spartak, and this was an important one because Spartak are no pushover, and neither is Joooooovic, because seriously, this lad is on an absolute mission now, and Joooooovic got an injury and they are still struggling with injuries. I have to point that out. Like, as much as we've got a few results this month, the injuries have just crippled us this season, and I think that's got to be part of the reason for our poor league form overall. And Partizan have done very, very well. Let's not take that away from them. They've been superb at times this season. But Joooooovic has just been creeping in there, and of course that's his 6th goal in 3 matches. Of course he scored a hat-trick today as well, which meant that he's actually on 8 from 3, which is a superb little run of goals, and it's pretty much put him right up where we wanted him to be after just a couple of games. So I think maybe he could get 25 for us. Ball in there, Joooooovic, he's so good in the air. His 2nd goal of the game with a beautiful header to score his 18th goal of the season. Now, we could have won this by more, really. I mean, they actually had 3 clear-cut chances, but I mean, look, they only had 2 shots on target compared to our 14. So, you know, long-range effort there, cleared away. But Gavric there tries, and it comes back to Janovic. Apologies. Also, I'd like to point out, like, I do really, really try with the names. Like, sometimes I do screw them up because it's really difficult. Serbian is not my first language, would you believe? I know sometimes I'm just that good, but believe me, I don't speak Serbian. So some of my pronunciations are going to be a little bit clunky. Let's just make that very clear. As with some of my English pronunciations, they're also pretty fucking clunky sometimes. The last goal was actually a pretty decent one. Militic ball out here to Joooooovic, who just smashes it in. And that is game over. 3-1, and game, set, and match. Very, very happy with the result again. Another good point. And that was his 19th goal of the season now. So really, really coming on leaps and bounds in the last couple of matches. And a couple of good wins in the league now, 3 in a row. And we, of course, had the game away at Partizan. This game, I mean, look, 15 shots, 7 on target, 34% possession. 19 shots, 9 on target, 66% possession. Oh, yeah, we lost 4-1. We also had a goal wrongly disallowed for offside, which I've made a note of the time, so I'm going to try and show you that as well, because I don't even know. Like, when you see some of the goals that they've scored, you'll wonder what the fuck was going on. So we actually started this game incredibly well, and I thought, right, there's actually a chance for us here. Otto is going to get the ball in the channel and do some great little finishes, cut inside and score, basically. 1-0 up after 6 minutes, and you're thinking, yes, this could be the day that we really, really do it, because we could have gone top if we won here at Partizan. Yeah, we would have gone above them in the league if we'd won. If being the optimal word. Then just literally 2 minutes after that, this happens, I think. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, Zoric has gone all the way through, and there's just this sort of melee on the edge of the box. He just runs into total space and is able to flick it right through our goalkeeper to make it 1-0. I mean, it's a good finish, but what is my defence doing, letting him run there? He's 16 years old, by the way. He's come through in their youth intake. We have had a youth intake, I think. I'll quickly check that, because there was nothing special in it this year, which is a pain. Like, really nothing special. And I'm beginning to wonder about that, because we should be getting better youth players than we are, I feel. We were we were good on the night. Admittedly, we didn't have as many clear-cut chances as them, but we still had lots of half chances, and some of our half chances were as good as their clear cuts in most of the situations that they came. I saw highlights for most of them, let's put it that way. So at 1-1 here, the game's sort of quite nicely poised at this point, but you know what happens when that happens. You get a ridiculous defensive decision, and there we go. And also, watch how the goalkeeper could have just blocked that. But nope, and there you go. It's 2-1. And that's exactly what you don't want at a stage like this in the game. 2-1 up, 2-1 down, and then, of course, right before half-time again, another long ball forward. I realised that they were just lumping it long. We did drop deeper in the second half, and it made it better, but it still didn't make it that much better. Ball over the top, Skepovic through again, and, of course, that was a good finish from Skepovic, no denying that. I'm just disappointed with this in the way that we allowed that to happen, and some of the defensive mistakes that led to it, especially that second goal was just useless. And of course, just after half-time, well blocked initially, but they had more in the tail, so to speak. Sirkovic, ball in here, and they were able to play it around in our box from a corner, basically. I'm just going to try and find the moment where we had that goal disallowed. I think it's here, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll just see. Hopefully he won't take too long over this. Oh, I don't know if I can be asked now. I wish offsides would show up as like little blips on here. Oh, I can't be right. Basically, it's 67 minutes, but we had a goal disallowed for offside. It wasn't offside, basically. The lines were buggered, as always. I wish they'd show offsides, like you could click on them. Like, I mean, I know you get a lot of them, but like key highlight offsides or something like that, or just show the key highlights or something. That would be quite useful. I suppose I could just put it on key highlights, but then you'd have to watch all the other stuff that you just saw anyway. So, yeah, we lost against Partizan, and that put us back. That set us way back, and that put us back 5 points behind them again with like 7 games left. Thankfully, in our next game, we did manage to pick it back up again where we left off, and it wasn't a bad result in this game. I mean, 3-0 over a relatively struggling side. And look at that, 67% possession in this one. Goals from Militic, Cernic, and Ristic, giving us the win again. And frankly, since the defeat against Partizan, we fairly think we've got even better in the league. Ball across here, just ricocheted a little bit, and very unlucky from the goalkeeper, I suppose, but Militic was able to dispatch it for 1-0. And I genuinely think we've got even better since the defeat. It's just that one little blip against Partizan, and everyone else were absolutely tearing apart now. A little bit like we were towards the back end of last season again. That's the sort of form we're back in again, but I'm just worried that defeat against Partizan, losing to them home and away is not good, and it could just end up costing us, unfortunately. And I really can't afford to not win the league this year. We're also playing Partizan in the cup final, of course, as you probably could imagine, so I really hope that we don't end up losing both of the trophies to them this year. That could be a huge turnaround, and I really don't need that, because I think if we were to lose both, I might not be in a job next season. Lovely bit of work from Militic out on the right here. Eventually he's going to find a cross. He's not going to find us. Oh, what a strike from Cernic. He really is stepping up this year in terms of goals and assists for us. He's been so good. Otto, of course, has been excellent. Since he's returned and actually got back to full fitness, he's been very, very good. Then, of course, we finished the game off with a nice penalty from Milo Ristic on 71 minutes. Apologies, I've got a cat trying to climb onto me as I'm recording this right now. I'll have to let that cat out in a minute. In fact, I'm going to let the cat out now. And the cat is gone. It was a different cat to the one on Twitter. The other one is still sitting behind me, I think. Anyway, moving on from cats to batterings. That's a terrible link, but it had to be done. We won 6-0. It's probably one of my biggest results in this save. Vosnovac aren't great, but they're also not that bad, but they were on the night. Oh my goodness. 68% possession we had against them. They had one shot on target. We just completely destroyed them. And bear in mind, that's now a 3-0, then followed up with a 6-0. Peshnik, who'd started this one in place of Savicevic, got his first goal of the season, making it 1-0 after 16 minutes. And, I should also point out that Partizan have been dropping points again, so all is not lost yet. Ball through here, Otto flicks it on, and Peshnik in there again for he just has a habit of scoring braces. When he gets his first goal, he gets to the second. Otto with a wonderful flick on there. Otto got himself a hat-trick of assists in this game, which was superb. Ristic here with the free kick. Poor goalkeeping, and Lazic on the rebound makes it 3-0 on 47 minutes. But it's great to see Otto get himself a hat-trick of assists. That's sort of more like the Mahatma Otto of last season again, doing what he does best in these sort of games. He links that plate just so well. He's a phenomenal player, and I think he could be so important for us. Gavrich does well, though. Gets it to Otto, who he actually got an assist for that as well, because it was his shot that came back out to none other than Luka Joooovic. Yeah, that's right. He hadn't scored for a game, and he felt a little bit antsy on that one. So he's got his 20th goal of the season in this one. Now, and the game just basically continued from in that form. We were just so good. Cernic this time with the strike. He's turned into quite some player this year, I have to say. I've been very, very pleased with him. Like, I know people were sceptical when I first signed him, and I was quite sceptical, but this year he's really stepped up for us. He's added goals to his game. He's getting a lot of assists, which is superb. And he's just been a great player for us this year. Him and Milo Ristic have formed a really good partnership in the middle. Otto chases everything down. He really does. And, sometimes he gets his reward, sometimes he doesn't. They deserve nothing from this game, and they did actually have a clear-cut chance, and to be fair, we only created 3. We just scored some really good goals. On another day, this probably would have been like 2 or 3-0, or 2 or 3-1, rather than 6-0, but we finally deserve... look at this from Joooovic, just ploughing past people and scoring again. I gotta say that if Joooovic is fit the entire season, I don't think we're in this mess, because suddenly he's popped up with, I think 10 goals in 5 games or something? It's absurd, but also brilliant. And I don't know if we played any more games or not. No! Right, so now that leaves the league looking like this. We are 1 point off the top, yeah, it's weird that that's happened, but it is exactly what happened. Partizan were losing at home to MacLeod in their last game of the season, but I'm just going to make sure that I actually have it on the correct schedule screen. We're on the 25th now, and the game is until the 28th. That was stupid of me. So I'm just going to skip now, guys, to the point where I actually get it to the right day, like a numpty. Right, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. I've done that a few times. It's basically because I actually played those games last night while I was just doing some extra work in the evening to make sure I could get some stuff done for today, and I had to try and remember, and also I forgot to get forward to the right point. So here, basically nothing has changed in the league, of course. But, yeah, so we are basically 1 point off the top. You'll notice that Jagodina are having a wonderful season again, are only 2 points behind us. So if they were to win today, they could potentially get into the title race themselves. You just never know with these things. Partizan were actually losing 1-0 at home to MacLeod in the last game. They scored a 93rd minute equaliser, and if they hadn't scored that, we'd be level on points with them. But as it is, we need to win basically our last 5 games. That is no denying that. And we just need them to drop points in one of their last 5 games. If they do that and we win our last 5, we're champions. But my God, we've had to work hard for it. So let's get into the match preview and see. Jagodina, this is the key one. I think if we can win this, then we've got a chance. Partizan are playing FK Rad, who are 4th, but 4th is a quite different prospect to 3rd with the 13 points in between them. So, let's do this. Ristic, of course, has picked up a suspension, which is a pain. But, hey, we're going to bring in Milos Bosancic. Why the hell not? Actually, is there anyone bet? Probably not, no. So, yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Pechnik is going to have to play there because Savicevic is injured. We really are. Karaklatic, and there's so much... we've been struggling so badly in those positions, unfortunately, which is a pain. But what can you do about it? Apologies, my voice just got a bit funny there. I think we should be able to come through this just because of having Luka Jovic and Mahatma Otto up front. They should be able to just dominate, but you just never know. Let's just see how we get on. We should win this, and quite comfortably, I'd like to think. We've done this quite well before. We are the home team, at least. There's nothing bad that could happen for me. Well, of course, there's something bad that can happen. The game could screw us. We could lose. We could dominate and still lose. There's all kinds of things that can happen, and they have been lately in some of my games, particularly on the Pompey save. Not so much this one. We've been sort of the architects of our own downfall in this one quite often, and oh dear. That would have been a really poor start for us. Just going to make sure I've got this on the right settings here. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I keep changing it back to extended for some weird reason. We seem to have started the game fairly strongly, so I will accept that. The opener, oh, hello. Go on, that's an empty net. Nenaga. Right. Why? Lazic? Oh, thank God for that. Darko Lazic has rescued us there and given us the lead. And I think, as well, a win here would put us sort of... make sure that we get at least second, because I think... a win over this would put us 5 points clear of Jagodina with 4 games to go, and I think that would be a reasonable amount, especially when we've got some winnable games coming up in the last sort of 4, and I'd like to win all of these games, basically. And I think if we win those, we really would deserve the league title, but it's a question of whether Partizan will drop any points. Because if they don't, then fair play to them, and that is quite some achievement. It's been a little bit more of an exciting title race, I guess, this season, is one of the things I would say. It literally could come down to the last day, and that's going to make one hell of a end of season live goal. It could be literally title decider type of stuff, so, there is potentially that. And because it's probably going to be the 50th episode, and on that day, if we do end up in that situation, I might do the final day of the season and a cup final, like a double live com to celebrate the 50th episode of the series. That's something I'm thinking about doing, depending on how the dates line up, basically. That's going to be a good day for those episodes, because we've got Pompey's 100th episode coming up soon, which is going to be a bit of an extravaganza. It could end up being quite a long one, I have to say. Seriously, the reason I'm doing extra episodes today is so I can spend all day tomorrow, basically. Well, not all day, obviously, but all of my sort of FM YouTube allocated time of the day to work on the Pompey live comic extravaganza, basically, and I'm thinking I may as well do something cool for this one while I'm there. I'm not entirely sure what sort of stuff we're going to be doing yet, but obviously we're going to be live comic anytime. Jovic just threw for Pechnik, he has to score, and he somehow missed it. Do you notice when they get really close to the goalkeeper like that, and when they play through like that, if they're going straight at him, they never score, virtually never. Unless they're like Ronaldo, in which case he'll score no matter where he is. We're a goal up, though, and thoroughly deserved of that goal up. 4 clear-cut chances, a load of shots, and at the moment, Partizan are... oh, no. Partizan are not winning. This could we actually end up going ahead of them in today's game? Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, there you go. In typical FM fashion, sorry, I was just having a little drink there. In typical FM fashion, we're at 1-1. I don't really know how we're at 1. Wow, that's a decent finish. Goalkeeper probably should have done better. It's right down the fucking middle. But that's one of those things. We're going to have to try and go a bit more attacking in the second half, I think. I can't believe we're not winning this game so far. We've been dominant. Even on possession, we've been absolutely dominant. At home and away nowadays, with possession, we're absolute home and away. We're very, very good with possession. And although, that being said, since their goal, we've not really done... Oh, no way. They're not going to score another one, are they? Thank you. Good tackle. Otto now, can he pick a pass? No, I was going to say, he can't feed Joooovic in from that kind of distance. We do need something, though. I'm going to probably have to put it on attacking at half-time, unless Joooovic steps up for us now, but he's not really got the space this time. Otto, can he flick it around the corner, perhaps? He can. Peshnik. Joooovic could get on the end of this. Somebody get on the end of this. Bosancic, he's got a long shot on him, I have to say. And he's going to lose the ball, isn't he? No, it comes back to Cernic. Gavrich. Cernic. Oh, somebody take a shot. Peshnik. Otto. Joooovic. There we go. That is some absolutely gloriously worked football. They didn't take that. I mean, I know I said somebody shoot, but the fact is I'm glad they didn't. They really did work the ball into the box. It's nice to actually see that coming off for once. I think Mahatma Otto is going to get himself another assist on it. Yep, it was his assist for Luka Joooovic, and it's pretty much the same kind of goal as our one, where the goalkeeper seems to dive it out of the way of the ball, which is really odd. Partizan are winning their game as well now, though, so this looks like it's not going to be today that we overtake them. But I'm hunting them down like rabid dogs now, basically. That is every game. We're just going to try and win by as many goals as we can, keep that form going, and we're definitely going to end up with a better goal difference than them at the end of the season, that's for sure, because we are starting to thrash teams. Although today, the scoreline isn't thrashing, but the actual stats themselves would sort of lend itself towards being a bit more thrash-like. Right, Peshnik, can he find a pass? No, he can't. A little bit offside there, that pass. Just a little bit. Malbasic has always seemed to come up with things against us, and I don't like it. Oh no, not a square pass, not a square... I hate those chances, those situations. And, well, Joooovic has been tackled there, but he has won... The ball has been won back. Otto now with it. That's a really... Quite a poor pass from Otto. In fact, very poor. A rare one from him, admittedly. Joooovic round the corner for Otto, and he's returned the favour. Joooovic and Otto linking up wonderfully well there. Joooovic this time with the assist to Mahatma Otto, and it is now 3-1, and that should be game, set, and match here, ideally. Whether it's going to be or not, I don't know, but I'd like to think we could maybe get a couple more. So it's a really good link-up between Joooovic and Otto. Joooovic just sliding it into the channel, and Otto just going near post this time, and good finish for him. Seriously, one of my favourite players on FM this year is Mahatma Otto. For that deep line forward role, he's just an absolute monster. I don't know what else to say. Partizan are 2 up in their game now against Rad, so that looks like that one's pretty much game over as well. So as long as we continue to do our best here and pick up the 3 points. Oh, Joooovic could knock this through the channel. It's... Why did... It's like the game had decided the ball was going to go to my right-sided player, so the guy that it actually hit there wasn't not allowed to touch it in some way. It was really odd. Oh, that's good. He skipped in Peshnik. Can he knock it inside? Penalty, and this should be game over. I don't know who takes our penalties at the moment. Oh, it would be Milos Bosancic. It's good to see Milos get a goal, he said preemptively. He's going to miss this now, just to spite me. Let's hope he doesn't, actually. I could really do with a 4-1 right about now. Come on, take your time. We've got all day. Bosancic, he's been very good with penalties in his career for us. I don't know if that might be his first goal of the season. I'm not entirely sure. But good for him. It's good to see him getting a goal. We may need to make some substitutions soon. Oh, apologies. It's very early in the morning when I'm recording this. I don't normally record as early as this, but stuff has to be done. So, right, let's make the first sub now. Wow, Cernic is mad. Oh, he's absolutely cream crackered. We'll take him off. No, I'll talk about that in the Polden piece eventually. 4-1 is nice, but, I feel there's probably room for more goals in us. The way we've been playing lately, I think we've probably got more in us. Perhaps. Oh, Joooovic has nicked in here. Joooovic has... Oh, he did everything right up until the finish, which is kind of the most important part. So, Luka, what are you doing? I was about to make some substitutions. I don't feel they deserve 2 goals in this game. This is what I mean about us conceding stupid goals. We do seem to have this innate ability to do things like this, where a team will have like 3 shots against us and they'll score 2 of them, and that happens a lot. Like, they've been nowhere near this game for me, but they've got 2 goals out of it, and that's disappointing. I'm trying to think who to come off. I'm going to bring off Otto just because, to keep him fresh. I'd like to bring off Gavrich if I could, but really, who the hell am I going to bring on? We're going to bring on Avramovsky for Gavrich, I guess. We really do need to look at wingers in the summer, but I just don't know what to do about it because we can't sign anyone decent. They'll be just as won't be any better than the players we have. If anything, they'll probably be worse. I'm just going to go on an absolute youth hunt basically, and it could take a couple of seasons really to bed. Oh my life! Oh, thank God for the save. Yeah, we could take a couple of seasons for us to start bedding some of those players in, but my point is, by signing them early, getting them signed up on contracts, they still get to play for their other clubs for a couple of seasons, some of them, which means they get some first team experience and actually might be even better players and worth a lot more by the time they join us, which is just an even better thing. And some more good chances for us there. 4-2 feels a little bit unlucky for us, really. We've been better than 4-2 for me. We've been sort of 5-0 kind of performance, but hey, I'll take it. It's a win against the 3rd place side, and a comfortable win at that. And it keeps us in the battle at the top. We need to continue winning, basically, for our last 4 games of the season. That is paramount. Now, I'm just thinking, actually, if this is episode 48, then episode 49 should be the end of the season, which means it wouldn't be we wouldn't have any extravaganza. Oh, it's a nice spread of different results there. So yeah, Partizan win 2-0. So, let's just quickly drop in and see what's left this year. So we've got, well, the cup final's actually there. So yeah, we've got next month, basically. I am genuinely thinking, do the cup final as a live com. As the next live com. I think I will. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I'll do the cup final as the live com, and I'll do the Joooooovic game as a separate episode if the title is still up for grabs. If we've won it or lost it by that game, then I won't, and I'll just tell you what happened in that one at the start of the transfer window episode, basically, because I don't want to do too many. But if it's still up for grabs, then we'll do a special episode for that, and we can do a squad report in that one too. So there we go. So if you like what you're seeing, please drop a like on the episode, and if you like it even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Portsmouth and Red Star Belgrade in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for the cup final against Partizan. Oh man, are we going to need that one. See you guys then. Bye-bye.